Welcome to episode 111 of Uncovering the Corners of the World podcast. I'm your host, Karina Kasmala. Using research and my personal experiences where I actually set foot in some of these places, I'll be describing some of the unknown attractions in both the US and around the world, as well as share some of the hidden landmarks of some well-known places. Squirrels and chipmunks scurry around the forest, jumping on rocks with peculiar written phrases on them. Our first stop is in Brookville, Pennsylvania, at the Scripture Rocks Heritage Park. Scattered around the green foliage are boulders with biblical references or verses. The author of these artistic pieces is Douglas Stallman, a self-proclaimed prophet. Born in 1861 in Jefferson County, Pennsylvania, Stallman worked as a teacher and then as a traveling book agent. In 1897, he married Marion, who unfortunately became ill after giving birth to their second son. Sometime soon after, he became involved in a religious movement of the faith healer John Alexander Dowie, who believed in spiritual healing. Stallman didn't want medical help. Instead, he thought he could rely on faith for healing his wife. But in 1901, Marion died of blood poisoning. Stallman was arrested after this incident and declared insane. The Stallman's case garnered attention, while at the same time in Indiana, state legislators passed the Medical Practice of 1901, where medicine couldn't be practiced without accredited medical training and a license in Indiana. Between 1910 and 1913, throughout the woods near western Pennsylvania, Stallman began carving biblical verses and text on boulders, using railroad pikes, Manson's point, and a mallet. In the Scripture Rocks Heritage Park, there are currently 65 rocks with Stallman's inscriptions. All the rocks can be found on a 1.5-mile round-trip hiking loop, and there are signs that explain the biblical verses on the boulders. Besides the inscriptions on the boulders, the park also has a pond pollinator habitat that features a variety of plants and critters that live in ponds and wetlands. Next, we travel to Philadelphia, where 72 stairs lead us to the top of the Philadelphia Museum of Art, located at 2600 Benjamin Franklin Parkway in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Those steps may not stand out on their own, but if you are familiar with the training montage sequence scene in the 1976 movie Rocky, then those steps were part of a significant climactic scene in the film. Played by Sylvester Stallone, Rocky Balboa is a fictional boxer who is portrayed as an underdog. The training montage scene opens up with the song Gonna Fly Now and shows Rocky running through the city of Philadelphia, with cuts to him training in the ring. The scene ends with him ascending 72 steps and cheering while facing the Philadelphia skyline. In 1980, Thomas Schomburg, an artist, was asked to create a statue of Rocky for the 1982 movie Rocky III, which in the movie, the statue was gifted to Rocky from the city of Philadelphia. The 8-foot by 6-inch tall bronze statue presented Rocky as a hero in the film, but not all of the real people of Philadelphia were fond of the statue. Some of the people viewed the statue as simply a movie prop, whereas others viewed it as an iconic piece celebrating Rocky's journey. The statue was situated at a sports complex in South Philadelphia called the Spectrum, but in 2006 it was moved to a spot near the Philadelphia Museum of Art. In 2026, the statue was temporarily moved inside the museum to be part of the Rising Up Rocky and the Making of Monuments exhibit. Approximately 10 minutes or 1.5 miles from the Philadelphia Museum of Art is a museum that has more than your average skeleton. Located 19th South 22nd Street in Philadelphia is the Mutter Museum at the College of Physicians of Philadelphia, which holds an extensive collection of unique medical artifacts. Named after Dr. Thomas Dent Mutter, an American surgeon and educator at Jefferson Medical College in the 1840s-1850s, donated his collection of medical items to the museum. The museum includes books, historical artifacts, biological specimens, and medical instruments. Some of the strangest or unexpected artifacts you'll find in the museum include the Chevalier Jackson collection, which is a display of 2,374 items that were inhaled or swallowed by people. During his 75-year-long medical career, Dr. Chevalier Jackson removed these items from people's throats, esophagus, and lungs. There is also a papier-mâché eyeball model from the late 19th century. For the United States' 250th birthday, the museum revealed a new exhibit titled Revolutionary Botany, which features the history of medicinal plants. Lastly, we travel to 368 Middletown Road in Hummelstown, Pennsylvania, to the Indian Echo Caverns, which previously went by different names such as Wilson Cave, Hummelstown Cave, and Echo Cave. The caverns were used by various Native American tribes for storage and living quarters. The Susquehannocks was recorded as the first tribe to have lived in the area, but died from disease and war by the 1760s. Other Native American tribes were believed to have lived along the Swatara Creek and left behind their relics. Besides Native Americans using the caverns as shelter, another man was also believed to have lived in the caverns for some time. The partially true but partially legend is the story of William Wilson, known as the Pennsylvania Hermit. During the 18th century, William Wilson is believed to have lived in the caverns for 19 years after missing the deadline for delivering the pardon to save his sister. His sister, Elizabeth, was charged with murdering her infant twins. She stood on trial and tried to protect her innocence, but the evidence was stacked against her, and she was found guilty of murder. William believed it was her lover, the father of the infants, who killed the children. William was able to secure a pardon from the governor. However, he arrived too late, and Elizabeth was hanged. The legend says that William aged quickly and decided to move into the caverns to spend the rest of his life there, grieving the death of his sister. During this time, he was visited by one person who supplied him with foods and necessary items. It is believed that William died in 1821. The Indian Echo Caverns opened to the public on May 6, 1929. Today, the Indian Echo Caverns offers tours. While waiting for the tours, there is a barnyard with goats, alpacas, chickens, a turkey, and peacocks. And there's also a gem mill junction where you can pan for minerals. On a hot summer day, the Indian Echo Caverns is a great place to cool off, as it maintains a constant 52 degrees Fahrenheit temperature inside. Thank you for listening to this week's episode. Visit the Scripture Rocks Heritage Park website to learn more about the park. If you're thinking about visiting the Rocky Statue in Philadelphia, check out the article Rocky Statue and Rocky Steps, your guide to an iconic Philly experience, on the website visitphilly.com, and the website The Association of Public Art. And if you want to learn more about the Rising Up Rocky and the Making of Monuments exhibit, visit the Philadelphia Museum of Art website. If you're curious about the artifacts that you could find at the Mutter Museum, visit the website muttermuseum.org and read about the history of the museum on the Encyclopedia of Greater Philadelphia website. Lastly, if you're thinking about visiting the Indian Echo Caverns, visit the website indianechocaverns.com and read the story The Pennsylvania Hermit, a narrative, and A Matter of Context, Elizabeth Wilson Revisited, to learn more about William Wilson and Elizabeth Wilson. The music used in this podcast is from Make Sound Music. Have a great week.